What's so inspiring for me is just being with old friends all over the world, and I used to be in Asia as a missionary, and just to see their face and to see all the brothers from all over the world singing songs, I'm just overwhelmed and encouraged and getting my heart ready, for the future.
I think for me, what I see, the power of the World Discipleship Summit is the fact that the faith of the disciples is rebounding. I feel like we're seeing God working. We're definitely hearing it in the messages and seeing it in the people. Why I'm so excited that so many people got to come from Sacramento is to witness this. I think that as we move forward, more than hearing sermons, it's going to be seeing Jesus in action. And we have been seeing Jesus throughout this conference everywhere. To see 18,000 people, to hear them singing songs from 90 different nations has just been blow away impactful.
I've been a Christian for 13 years, and this is the biggest conference that I've ever been to or ever seen. I've seen more disciples in one place than I've ever seen before, and filling out a stadium and being able to sing songs together and listen to a message and be surrounded by men and women of faith has been so encouraging. Yesterday morning, I was able to see over 3,000 college students singing to God, Men Who Dream, and the floor was bouncing and shaking, and it was just epic. And there's never been another opportunity that I've seen Men Who Dream sung by 3,000 college students. It was super encouraging.
All of the people, that's truly inspired me. Seeing that stadium filled was amazing. But I think just the first message when Douglas Arthur asked everyone to stand up and said, if you've ever moved for a spiritual reason, stand up, and the room was filled. But then everybody has to ask themselves, are you still willing? And we just moved to Sacramento, California 5 months ago from Nashville, Tennessee. Every day taking my kids to school, we drove past horse farms and we lived around entertainers. I didn't lock my doors during the day. We were very comfortable, and we decided maybe we were a little too comfortable. So we just started praying, and God said it's time to go. Even with all that we had in Nashville, He said it's time to be part of something smaller so you can build, because Nashville has so much. And so we're in Sacramento, California with 100 disciples, and we love it, and we love the people there.
The whole event has been amazing. I think the most inspirational thing for me is not only the 18,000 or plus people that I've seen, but just to see so many people coming together and worshiping God. And just talked to this one brother in the AT&T Center, and he was a very young disciple. He's just watching him worship God, and he was like, you know what? For me, just sitting here worshiping God among all these people, it's just me and God, and he just saw God. And I think that inspired me the most, just talking to this young man. And for me, the experience, dwindled down from 18,000 people to just me and God and just worshiping God. So, the message has been amazing, and the people have been awesome. But, just that experience of feeling like, hey, this is between me and God, and just experiencing that has been an amazing experience for me.
I've been really fed. All the messages have been great. The fellowship's been outstanding. I've just loved being here, meeting new people. It's amazing how I can just go and just have a conversation with anybody. And I've loved that. But a couple of lessons that really hit my heart, just being inspired as I get older here, over 50, thinking about, hey, this is just the beginning. I can go out, I can make a new level of impact, and really starting to think about that and pray about that already. So I'm looking forward to seeing what else I can do. God's given me and blessed me with a great foundation, great family. All my kids are baptized, they're here. They're doing internships, and they're doing some great things already, having dreams and hooking up with very spiritual people in their lives. But, still just the beginning for all of us, so I'm starting to get a new vision.
Bueno, este encuentro ha sido increíble. Hemos tenido tantas clases y con tantos enfoques como para los casados, como es mi caso, para los teens, porque tuve la fortuna también de tener a mi hijo con nosotros, y para el liderazgo, por supuesto. Pero además de las clases, que han sido inspirantes porque han sido hermanos que han atravesado tantas experiencias y que han ganado tantos aprendizajes en su vida, de los ancianos, de los maestros, de los líderes, evangelistas. Además de todo eso, recibir su cariño creo que es una muestra del gran poder y el amor de Dios.
Wow, so many incredible things. Just the incredible vision, the love, and just the expressions of love and passion for all the great things that God is doing around the world. This conference has really reminded me that we are an international movement and that God is working powerfully on every continent around the world. Primarily, I feel that this has been a great platform for my leaders and for the disciples in my ministry that are here. They feel very inspired to go out and do something and to drop everything and go do something. I had a great prayer last night with a young Christian who's here. I'm so grateful that he's here, and you know, him and I, we were just, you know, spending time praying, and he was really sharing his heart with me, and I was so grateful that he was here. I said, this is the most important conversation that I can have while I'm here with this young Christian who's here for the first time, and his eyes are just like, I'm an engineer, but I'm ready to like give any of that up just to focus on the most important thing. And I was like, amen. And it's like, not like I told him to say that or do that, and you know, it's just encouraging to have that instilled in him from this conference. So I just got goosebumps saying that. It's really cool.
I mean, every lesson is very convicting, and just earlier today, just talk about raising up leaders, and just you know, making myself available to do that, and stop waiting. So just going after people, they're already there. We just need to do something about it.
The thing I'm going to take home to my ministry is just, again, you know, that thought, you know, hey, you know, God. It's got to be you and God, you know. God has got to be enough. You know, it's definitely inspiring to see thousands of people, but, you know, if God's not enough for you, then, you know, this only lasts 2 or 3 weeks.
Sí, yo creo que ahora tenemos que pensar mucho en el tema del entrenamiento, de mirar a las futuras generaciones y cómo vamos a invertir nuestro tiempo para entrenar personas, para identificar talentos, como dice la Biblia, que tenemos distintos llamados y roles, pero Dios nos ha llamado a eso, a invertir nuestra vida y nuestros talentos para la gloria de Él.
Probably the biggest thing is that God has a mountain for all of us to conquer. You know, that we just can't settle for the low terrain, but that God wants us to scale the mountains in our lives and to conquer them in a great way. And, you know, Los Angeles is such a mountain. Look forward to having the faith to see God work there powerfully.
You know, I think a bigger faith. Keith, my husband, is a very big dreamer. He dreams, he has big dreams, and I really want to see what Sacramento can be and be in part. It's the capital of California. I mean, it can be huge, and to really see that we can be a part of that. We are nothing without God, but oh my gosh, with God, I think Sacramento, just my faith to see the disciples that will be there in a year. And the campus ministry, it's getting off the ground. There's not a teen disciple in Sacramento yet. So this time next year, just wait. That's where I want my faith to be.
The church in St. Louis is pretty great. You know, we are led by Jeff Mantle, who is an amazing disciple who has brought a lot of worship into our church. You know, just he is up the sung ministry in our church. He loves to sing and just has some incredible messages. And the brothers and sisters are awesome. They've been truly inspired. I believe. I know there's quite a few St. Louis people here. I haven't ran into that many, but you know, I know talking to other people that they're all over the place. So you know, the church in St. Louis is just an amazing place of brothers that love one another, and sisters too.
We got a lot of things going good. You know, we've been blessed to have some strong leadership come in. Maurice Hooks, Maurice and Lauren, they came back in several years ago. They brought a couple with them to help, you know, lead, Rob and LaShonda Milner. We're starting to see some growth in different parts of the city. Rob was lifted up as an evangelist and has been growing things in the northern part of our city and having up to 100 meeting out there. We're looking forward to doing more in the inner city. but we're so proud to see Maurice and Lauren grow. They're really having a great impact on the church, and our eldership is growing as well. We've been getting more out, talking to different elders like, in LA and Denver and learning as much as we can. Of course, I mentioned Sam Powell, he's been giving us some really good insight. So we're looking forward to doing more in the Midwest. We're part of the Heartland churches, and it's great to see our connection with, St. Louis and Omaha and churches in Oklahoma, Columbia, Lawrence, and we're real excited that we're seeing the Midwest come together in the Heartland churches and being connected with other parts, churches in the world.
Yo vengo de la ciudad de Concepción, Chile. Yo nací en la ciudad de Lima, Perú. Me bauticé en la Ciudad de México hace casi 23 años. Ha sido una experiencia increíble el poder estar ahora en una ciudad como Concepción, cerca de la Patagonia. Y también una experiencia increíble el cambio de una iglesia de más de 4.000 miembros a solamente una iglesia de 8 miembros ahora. Pero no importa dónde estamos, sabemos que Dios está con nosotros.
In the Los Angeles church, we just restructured our church in a great way. We now have 4 geo-regions. The unity in our leadership is unlike anything that we've ever seen. There's such a great resurgence in our campus ministry. In one of our campuses in Metro South, we've seen 6 college students baptized in 6 days. Great young men that are raising up that want to be trained and want to be sent out to do great things for God.
On the mountain of the Lord, it will be provided.
En la montaña del Señor, Él proveerá. Amén.
On the mountain of the Lord, it will be provided. Amen.
On the mountain of the Lord, it will be provided.
On the mountain of the Lord, it will be provided. To God be the glory.
Wouldn't cross the